Starting lineup: Mordekaiser, Wukong, Ziggs, Sivir, Senna up against Teemo, Warwick, Yasuo, Caitlyn, Seraphine. Rating of the picks for a casual game: Mordekaiser 9 out of 10. Ziggs as a mid, a 6. By itself, good damage, interesting, super frail. Really very high skill required to play Ziggs without somebody to hide behind. It's too difficult. By itself, I appreciate the idea because it could really help. His extreme damage could really help, but it's not realistically going to work. Sivir as a shooter, a 5. Never really seen good things from Sivir. You know, besides the way she looks. Senna as a support, a 7. Appreciate the thought. Really nice to do. You know, to play somebody who can heal. Play somebody who can truly support. But I don't know how far you're gonna get between people with little skill and a very simple mindset with a relatively complicated, you know, caster type. Top Teemo, a 6. Gonna say a 5 because I think it's the same thing as playing RE there. You're fundamentally leaving your whole team exposed when it comes to any kind of tanking, any kind of damage mitigation. But at the same time, I'm gonna add 1 point because ultimately the traps are frequently effective and they create havoc for the enemy team. Warwick in the jungle, an 8. Would be a 9, but we're going to take 1 point away for a lack of mobility. Yasuo as a mid, a 9. Caitlyn here as a shooter, a 10 out of 10. It's a very interesting skin here. Makes the projectiles look very interesting. Seraphine in support, an 8. Seraphine is unusually powerful when it comes to any kind of crowd control, any kind of supporting fire. Seraphine is that caster support that actually works just because she has so many talents and so many useful abilities. Where, like, usually it gets too complicated and it's no longer worth it because a casual really needs something more beefy, needs something easier that doesn't go down quite as easily. But with Seraphine, the trade off is worth it because of the massive potential that Seraphine has. Moving on. For the first play of the game, the enemy Warwick is gonna get shot by the turret here. And the enemy tank is going to tell me, or is going to tell him that I will probably be here. And after Teemo told him that, he goes here, and I basically have this exchange with him. After which, Teemo signals that enemies are missing. And what happened here is I essentially confused the Void Grub mechanic with the Jungle Creep mechanic, where every time somebody interrupts you with a Void Grub or there is a good chance that the attackers will go over to him. Every time somebody interrupts you with a jungle creeper, there is no chance that the jungle creeper will go over to him. After which Timo gets a crisis here and says that it's time to retreat. Looking around while I'm dealing with this jungle creeper here, I notice that Caitlyn and Seraphine are pushing all the way up against the tower. So I figure they won't have the ability to get all the way back to their territory. And so I jump them, and I get a little bit of assistance from the support, which in this case I really didn't need. And every time I jump in like this, I always automatically assume that I will have to do everything myself, which in this case would have been fine. That's the second play. And for the third play of the game, we're gonna see the power of Seraphine here. Who has a wild ability to outgun people by herself and outdo people by herself. Even when played by a very inexperienced player. This is kind of insane, right? This is kind of insane. You can tell, number one, that the character is not being controlled by somebody who's wildly knowledgeable. You can tell that the character, or that Seraphine in this case, made numerous mistakes, and she still essentially knocks out these two bottom laners by herself. Which is kind of just a Seraphine thing. And for the fourth play of the game, we're going to have this defensive effort here after Caitlyn successfully gets a double kill. And this will end up saving a relatively crucial tower. That's the fourth play. And for the fifth play of the game, Mordekaiser is going to end up encountering Caitlyn here, bringing down the tower. This goes to show you the Baron is all good and well, but like, if it costs you too much and you're just not paying attention, that Baron could end up ruining you, because fundamentally, like, is it worth giving up all your turrets? Is it worth losing all your camp infrastructure over, all your buildings over? Probably not. That charge into the enemy camp is the fifth play of the game, and a crucial one. Taking a look at the scoreboard here, and when we go through some of these items that I had to get, this is really my ultimate desperation build. Because this is a truly horrifying enemy to face. With Warwick and Yasuo in these positions, and then a very experienced Teemo player, and then also Seraphine here, you are really as spread out as a defense as you can possibly ever get. What you will see almost always in almost any kind of build, that to some degree, some angles are always left uncovered and then filled up with some attack damage or something like that. Facing this enemy team, this is a almost Worst case scenario, as far as like the balance between enemy physical damage and enemy attack damage and enemy ability damage. Magic resist and physical resist. And so this is really part of my ultimate desperation build. Like this is something I will only go to if we're really challenged on every level. This was a hard-fought game. Gritty, toxic game. Um we see here very wise choices in Leandri and Thornmail. You went for massive attack speed here. This person was a more of a burden than a teammate here. It was a very tough game, in fairness, though. So every time you die, the money the enemy makes of you is used to buy them weapons. So if you die nearly 20 times, you've given them new weapons nearly 20 times. Here, very responsible. Very responsible here. Senna is a counterintuitive champion. It is bizarrely enough indeed correct to build her like a shooter. And we see here the forever and always go to yet again. Probably cost him a significant amount of lives here. This is a very experienced player, Yasuo. Bit almost absurd how much he went to the same champion without variation. It's admirable in some sense. Attack speed is really secondary with Caitlyn. You should have Infinity Edge here. This is a fairly responsible way to build Seraphine. Relatively serious builds. I would say the donkey of the scoreboard here would be our shooter with just a fanatical focus on attack speed. And just always the same thing, right? Like, how many times do you have to see this? Right? This brilliant idea of stealing others' lives. How many times do you have to see this fail before you start to realize, like, hey, this is probably not the greatest way to manage health. This is probably not the greatest way to stay healthy. Moving on.
Minions have spawned.
Juju style. My place is at the top. Every mistake is a lesson. Adapt to all situations. Show me the path.
An ally has been slain. Shut down.
Never settle for second. You got it.
An ally has been slain.
Bring me a real challenge.
An enemy has been slain.
My journey's only beginning. My place is at the top.
An ally has been slain.
Been waiting for this.
You have slain an enemy.
Who questions my ability? Just try to stop. to all situations. Show me the path. Every mistake is a lesson.
An ally has been slain.
Is that all they've got? You got it. I got it. Bring me a real challenge.
Killing spree.
An easy collar.
You have slain an enemy.
Own soul.
An ally has been slain.
Never settle for second. Wuju style. Put me to the test. My journey's only beginning.
That's an irreversible choice.
Slain an enemy.
Show me the path. Every mistake is a lesson. Just
Rampage. Turret plating will fall soon.
who questions my ability?
An ally has been slain. An enemy has been slain. An enemy has been slain. An enemy has been slain.
Never settle for second.
Dominating.
Bring me a real challenge. My place is at the top. I got this.
Your turret has been destroyed. Enemy killing spree.
Great play, Ziggs. Great play, man.
Slain an enemy.
Yeah, unfortunate that the game doesn't allow you to kill steal, right? No.
Only beginning. Show me the path. Every mistake is a lesson. Who questions my ability?
You have slain an enemy. An enemy has been slain.
You got it.
Your turret has been destroyed.
settle for second.
Your turret has been destroyed.
Adapt to all situations. Bring me a real challenge. My journey's only beginning. Show me the path.
An ally has been slain.
My place is at the top.
been slain.
You got it. Never settle for second. Adapt to all situations.
An enemy has been slain. An ally has been slain. An enemy has been slain. Killing spree. Your turret has been destroyed. An enemy has been slain.
Just try to stop me. My place is at the top. Who questions my ability? Bring me a real challenge.
An enemy has been slain. Your team has destroyed a turret.
Show me the path. Every mistake.
Killing spree. Rampage.
My journey's only beginning.
Your team has destroyed a turret.
You got it.
has destroyed a turret. Your turret has been destroyed. An enemy has been slain. Shut down.
Never settle for second.
Enemy killing spree. An enemy has been slain.
My place is at the top. Bring me a real challenge. Who questions my ability? Show me the path.
Your team has destroyed a turret. Enemy rampage. Your turret has been destroyed. An enemy has been slain. An enemy has been slain.
Every mistake is a lesson.
Shut down. Shut down. An ally has been slain.
My journey's only beginning. You got it. situations. Who questions my ability? Bring me only show me the path.
Gonna be timed exactly to perfection again that he's gonna spawn the second that the dragon is gonna spawn. That's excellent again.
Every mistake is a lesson.
An ally has been slain.
You got it.
Rampage. An enemy has been slain. An ally has been slain. Your inhibitor has been destroyed. Shut down.
My journey's only beginning.
An enemy has been slain. An enemy has been slain.
My place is at the top. Adapt to all situations. Put me to the test.
Your team has destroyed a turret.
Never settle for
An
second.
enemy has been slain. An ally has been slain. An enemy has been slain.
Who questions
Your
my
team has
ability?
destroyed an inhibitor. destroyed an inhibitor. Killing spree.
My place is at the top.